This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
Well, in breaking news this evening, civil rights activist Binayak Sen has been released from the Raipur jail. We'll go across to him to our network to NDTV 24/7 for his press conference.
ये जो तो मैं हमेशा यही कहता हूँ कि मैं अकेला नहीं हूँ. I am not alone. So we are all together in this. That's the first point that I wanted to make. But इसके साथ साथ ये भी है कि ये बहुत से लोगों का एक साथ होने का 3 आयाम मैं रखना चाहता हूं. पहले तो ये है कि छूटने का प्रक्रिया ही, जैसे मैंने कहा कि बहुत सारे लोग इसमें एक साथ जुड़े हुए थे, तभी मैं छूट पाया हूं. और इतना बड़ा डिसीजन सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने दिया है जो कि जिसका पॉलिटिकल इम्प्लीकेशंस बहुत गहरे हैं, और ये इतना बड़ा एक फिनोमिनन हुआ, इसके लिए इसमें हम लोग सब इकट्ठे हैं, तभी ये हासिल हो चुका है, हो सका है. दूसरा बात मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि ये जो परिस्थिति है जिसमें मैं अभी था, जिस परिस्थिति को पीछे छोड़ के मैं अभी निकल के आया हूं, ये परिस्थिति मेरे बारे में बहुत लोग जानते हैं, पर यही परिस्थिति में बहुत सारे लोग जुड़े हुए हैं. बहुत सारे लोग, सैकड़ों और हजारों लोग छत्तीसगढ़ में और देश के बाकी जेलों में, बहुत सारे हजारों लोग इसमें बंद हैं. तो इसके बारे में सब ये जो परिस्थिति है, वीरप्पा मोइली साहब ने बहुत बड़ा बात कह दिया कि 121 और 124 धारा इंडियन पीनल कोड, जो देशद्रोह का जो धारा है, राजद्रोह का जो धारा है, उसका वो रिवीजन करवाएंगे, लॉ कमीशन के जरिए से रिवीजन करवाएंगे. और इसको हासिल करने के लिए, इसको अपने अंजाम तक पहुंचाने के लिए सारे लोगों को मिलके इसमें एक कैंपेन, आंदोलन चलाना पड़ेगा, ताकि हमारे यहाँ देश प्रेम का जो भूमिका है, उसको एक आजाद देश के आजाद नागरिकों के अनुरूप वो डिसीजन, वो जो कॉन्सेप्ट वो हो सके. एक कॉलोनियल देश पावर का जरिए हमारे देश के लोगों के ऊपर थोपा गया जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, उसको लांघ के हम एक नया कॉन्सेप्ट में हम जा सकें. तीसरा जो मैं बात रखना चाहता हूं, जिसमें हम लोग सब, मैं सोचता हूं कि हम लोग सब इकट्ठे हैं, वो है कि शांति और न्याय का जो प्रक्रिया है, उसको हम लोगों को सबको आगे लेके जाना पड़ेगा. कुछ लेबल लगाया जा रहा है जो देश के लोग बहुत तकलीफ में हैं. आधे लोग, देश के आधे लोग मैलनरिश्ड कंडीशन में है. उनका जो शरीर का जो परिस्थिति है, वो भोजन के कमी के कारण से वो लोग बीमार हैं, देश के आधे लोग. और ये हमारे देश के लिए एक शर्मनाक परिस्थिति है. इसके साथ साथ जो पूरा परिदृश्य है, उसको हमें बदलना पड़ेगा, और शांति और न्याय का के आंदोलन हम लोगों को आगे बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. बस इतना ही बात है.
चुने हुए जनप्रतिनिधियों को नहीं जाने देता है, अग्निवेश नहीं जा पाए, सिर्फ डॉक्टर रमन सिंह जा पाए, तो इस पर आपका क्या कहना है?
सलवा जुडूम का हम लोग पहले से विरोध करते आ रहे हैं, और सलवा जुडूम का हकीकत लोगों के सामने आ रहा है. अब सुप्रीम कोर्ट खुद कहती है कि सलवा जुडूम वाजिब नहीं है. छत्तीसगढ़ सरकार सुप्रीम कोर्ट के सामने कबूल कर चुकी है कि सलवा जुडूम नाम का कोई चीज नहीं है. अगर सलवा जुडूम नाम का कोई चीज नहीं है, तो जो विजिलेंटेज अभी पूरा बस्तर में घूम रहे हैं, वो क्या हैं, इसके बारे में छत्तीसगढ़ सरकार को स्पष्टीकरण देना चाहिए. सलवा जुडूम को बंद करना बहुत जरूरी है, पर ये शांति का प्रक्रिया चले, इसके लिए सलवा जुलूम को बंद करना बहुत जरूरी है। ये एक ऐसा परिस्थिति है जो कायम होगा, तभी शांति का प्रक्रिया हम सारे लोग मिलके हम लोग आगे बढ़ा पाएंगे। I will be continuing my work in Chhattisgarh as well as outside Chhattisgarh. I am part of the PUCL. I am the I am one of the vice presidents of the National Committee of the PUCL, and my work in human rights will be all over the country, including in Chhattisgarh.
The Supreme Court passed an observation saying that there is no question of no evidence as far as sedition charges are concerned against you. What's the reaction against that? And secondly, they also said at best you're a Maoist sympathizer. The reaction against on that also.
As far, what was the first point?
The question is on the sedition charges. There's no evidence on that.
I think first you should ask him about whether he's familiar with the observations of the Supreme Court, because have you really read the newspapers?
Were you reading something about?
I have only read newspaper accounts. I don't really know what the Supreme Court has said so far. I don't really know what in detail what the Supreme Court has said. But
No, it's perfectly all right. Come on,
we have held right from the beginning that the charge of sedition was a misplaced charge, and the idea that we are traitors to our country, we are traitors to our people, that we have betrayed our people. I know in my heart that I have never betrayed the people of my country. And so the question of accepting the charge of sedition, I have never accepted the charge of sedition against myself. The point is, what does the law hold? And now the Supreme Court has made it clear that the law finds that there is no evidence of any of sedition against me. So the whole question of sedition should now be taken off the panel.
Can you say that in Hindi? ये हिंदी में बोलने दीजिए।
सेडिशन का हिंदी क्या है?
राजद्रोह।
राजद्रोह का जो सवाल है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने स्पष्ट रूप से कह दिया है कि राजद्रोह का जो सवाल है वो नहीं मानती है कि राजद्रोह का कोई सबूत उनके सामने पेश किया गया है। जहां तक हमारा सवाल है, हम कभी भी हम अपने आप को राजद्रोही या राजद्रोह क्या, हम जनता के खिलाफ में हम किसी भी भावना हम नहीं रखते हैं, किसी भी भावना, हम किसी का बुराई नहीं चाहते हैं। और जहां तक द्रोह का सवाल है, हम जनता के, देश की जनता, छत्तीसगढ़ के जनता के लिए वफादार हैं। ये हमारा दिल का बात है, और बाकी जो कानून का बात है वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने स्पष्ट कर दिया कि राजद्रोह का कोई सबूत है ही नहीं।
Sir, how difficult it would be for you to fight the case in the High Court and continue to carry on your work also?
The question is that firstly the court process is being taken forward by a whole campaign. There are
legal team.
Huh?
Legal team. There's a big.
There is a big legal team. There is a very big legal team. I would like to point out to you that Mr. Ram Jethmalani, who is one of the senior most lawyers in the country, who was earlier a law minister at the center and a cabinet minister and a law minister at the center in the NDA government, he came on his own, at his own expense. There was no question of us paying him any money, but he came at his own expense to fight this case in the High Court. The High Court gave a decision against us. He fought this case in the Supreme Court. और हाँ, राम जेठमलानी साहब जो हमारे देश के एक बहुत बड़े वकील हैं, जो कि लॉ मिनिस्टर रह चुके हैं और हमारे देश के एक बहुत बुजुर्ग वकील हैं, वो अपने खर्चे पे आए थे। ये
Right, that's Dr. Binayak Sen there for you speaking. Well, after spending months in jail, Binayak Sen is finally with his family addressing a press conference there. He says the charges of sedition is a misplaced charge, and he's touched his heart and says he has not betrayed the people of India and he will continue his work as he is the head of the PUCL. Well, civil rights activist Binayak Sen was released from the central jail in Raipur just a short while ago. This comes after the Supreme Court granted him bail last week in the sedition case against him. Dr. Sen, who worked with poor tribals in the state, was accused of spreading Naxalism and was sentenced to life imprisonment for sedition by a lower court. His case has been watched closely in India and abroad, and many have accused the state of victimizing Dr. Sen for speaking out against the government. Moving on to some other local news, well, there is more trouble brewing for Puducherry Lieutenant Governor Iqbal Singh. Following the passport case, he was in the middle of another controversy of a land allotment case. However, the Puducherry Chief Minister's office has denied reports of allotment of land to the governor for setting up a medical college in the Union Territory. The Chief Minister maintained that the allegations and the timing clearly had a political agenda. Already under suspicion for his alleged links with the tax evader Hassan Ali Khan, Iqbal Singh says he is ready to resign from his post if asked to, and that he is ready to face questioning, and dismissed all links with Hassan Ali. Well, the CPM State Secretary G. Ramakrishnan today condemned the killing of 4 Tamil fishermen from Rameshwaram. He said it is the duty of the central government to order a probe into the killing of 4 fishermen. And he also said it's their responsibility of both the state and the centre to provide adequate protection for these fishermen, as such killings have been reported quite often. The CPM State Secretary also said that the Chief Minister should not stop with writing letters to the centre on this issue. And the usually quiet and warm Nageshwara Park today turned into a heated stage, with Thangabalu and his supporters lashing out at the alleged killings and attacks on Indian fishermen. The TNCC chief condemned the role of the Sri Lankan Navy and later quoted arrest. During the protest, Thangabalu urged Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and the External Affairs Minister to take up this issue with the Sri Lankan government. He said that the demonstration was not against the centre but against the Sri Lankan government. Thangabalu promised to protest all over the state if attacks continued. Ironically, barely 200 meters away from the place of action, Thangabalu's effigies were being burnt, as he has been drawing flack for expelling 19 members from the Congress.
I am not carrying out anything against central leadership. I am following the rules of the game. So it is my duty to demand my party government also to support Tamils in Tamil Nadu.
So
I am telling you, this agitation is against Sri Lankan government. This agitation is aimed at asking the Sri Lankan government to restrain killing Tamils, killing fishermen. This is main important. This is the issue where the Congress party is concerned. That is why I come to the street. There is limit for everything. Tamil Nadu people cannot be a silent spectator on killing the people of Tamil origin.
Well, these protests erupted following the recent deaths of 4 fishermen. Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi has reportedly written to the Prime Minister asking him to take immediate steps to curb the alleged inhuman activities of the Sri Lankan Navy. The fishermen community had demanded the setting up of an inquiry commission to probe the death of 4 Indian fishermen. These bodies were found one after another over the past 2 weeks after they went missing while at sea on April 2nd. Local fishermen alleged that all the 4 were tortured to death by Sri Lankan naval personnel and that their bodies were dumped into the sea. Agency reports say the body of one of the deceased fishermen was found to bear many cuts, and the right hand of another deceased fisherman had been chopped off. And during the protest against these alleged attacks, the TNCC chief also slammed the rumours doing the rounds that he will be sacked from the president post after there have been many protests targeting him for expelling 90 members from the Congress.
Not bothered about my presidency. I am bothered about my party and my leader. My party leader is supreme. Whatever my leader says, I follow.
Still ahead on headlines now. On the eve of the West Bengal polls, the chief minister gets candid to NDTV spelling out his mistakes.